Ahoy! I am Lynn Applegate, and this is Dan Roberts. Welcome to the 16th Annual Port Gamble Maritime Music Festival.
Ordinarily, we'd all be in the town of Port Gamble enjoying the beautiful historic lumber company town. But this year, once again, the festival is online only. We hope you are all staying healthy.
This festival always features performers with strong connections to the Pacific Northwest, but this year, since we're online, we can have performers from as far away as British Columbia, New York, New England, and the wilds of Eatonville.
And we'll have a song or two from our local crew to open and close the festivities, like this shanty from the California Gold Rush era, led by our very own David Kessler.
We're sailing down from Liverpool, heave away, Santiano. Sailing down from Liverpool, way out in California. So heave her up, and away we'll go, heave away, Santiano. Heave her up, and away we'll go, way out in California. She's a fully good ship and a bully good crew. Heave away, Santiano. A down east Yankee for a captain to way out in California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, way out in California. There's plenty of gold, so I've been told. Heave away, Santiano. Plenty of gold, so I've been told. Way out in California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, way out in California. Well, back in the days of 49, heave away, Santiano. Back in the days of the good old times, way out in California. So heave her up and away we'll go, heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, way out in California.
American balladeer John Sparrow writes and sings songs about the Northwest and America, stories of people and places, ships and trains, everyday people, and extraordinary lives. John was Americana before we knew the term, kind of a singing Mark Twain.
All the dancers are laughing and turning, and the smile hides the sting of the tear. Oh, how their young hearts are yearning. I will remember, my dear. Take a fruit from my grandfather's orchard, where the trees stand 100 years old. Plant the seeds in the sun, looking westward, where the great blue Columbia. Take my hand and we'll walk in the moonlight. For tomorrow I know you will go to a land far over the ocean so wide, where the great Columbia. Take a fruit from my grandfather's orchard, where the trees stand 100 years old. Plant the seeds in the sun, looking westward, where the great blue Columbia rolls. Seeds in a shirt in his pocket, from a lover he's leaving back home. Indentured to Factor McLaughlin, where the great blue Columbia rolls. Take a fruit from my grandfather's orchard, where the trees stand 100 years old. Plant the seeds in the sun, looking westward, where the great blue Columbia rolls. Time they claim as a movable feast, a point on the wave rolling in from the east. The fruit of passion can still taste as sweet, where the great blue Columbia rolls. Take my fruit from a grandfather's orchard, where the trees stand 100 years old. Plant the seeds in the sun, looking westward, where the great blue Columbia rolls. And the blossoms that bloom are as bright as the snow, for a long distance love from a long time ago, shading the hill, looking westward, where the great blue Columbia rolls. That's the story of one of the great innovations brought into Washington State. Prior to 1826, there were no apples in the Pacific Northwest. And then the story goes that a young woman in England gave a sailor who was bound for the Hudson Bay farm and station in Washington, or British Columbia, that was called at that time, sort of a disputed area whether or not it was the United States or Britain. But in 1826, they were sending out indentured servants for the farms on the Hudson Bay stations, the one at Nisqually and the one down at Vancouver. On the last night that his ship was departing and he was going into indentured servitude for 7 years in the wilds of the Pacific Northwest in North America, a young sailor received a gift from his girlfriend. She gave him 3 apples that came from her grandfather's orchard. Told him he could eat the apples on his journey over, but to save the seeds, save the cores, actually. And he did. And they planted them down at the Fort Vancouver Hudson Bay Station. 10 of them grew from those cores, and they were the first apple seeds in Washington State, first apple trees. They were zealously guarded. They put fences around them so the deer wouldn't eat them, and actually one of them survives today. It's the smallest state park in Washington State. It's down under the freeway there in Vancouver. Little 10-foot square iron fence around an old apple tree. Still bears apples. Planted in 1826, English winter apple. Pretty tasty. It's all right. rocky shores of Iberia, where the great Leviathan does sound. Watch the tables as they turn to run the whaler to the ground. There's a fresh rain falling on the ocean, and a new song calling on the breeze. Keep your heart safe and warm in the blue water storm. Fare thee well, brave shepherd of the sea. Miles of burning light takes no regard for place or kind. It takes them all, it takes them slow. Watch that you say you did not know. There's a fresh rain falling on the ocean, and a new song calling on the breeze. Keep your heart safe and warm in the blue water storm. Fare thee well, brave shepherd of the sea. Upon this moat we truly are our mother's child among the stars. She gives us birth and life to share with things of earth and sea and air. There's a fresh rain that's falling on the ocean, and a new song calling on the breeze. Keep your heart safe and warm in the blue water storm. Fare thee well, brave shepherd of the sea. Used to ride the ferry every once in a while. I go over to Friday Harbor, someplace out on the islands, and play music. And pulling into Friday Harbor for years, the Sea Shepherd was docked or tied up. She kind of listed a little bit, and she was looking pretty dingy, but it was the old Sea Shepherd. And I was always reminded of those reckless pirates and bold adventurers that were a part of the Shepherd of the Sea movement, and still are, some of them still are. The idealism and caring enough about the world to devote yourself like that was impressive. It certainly was. And that's kind of what the spirit of that song was about, you know. was darkly starlit, and the wind came weaving in like a poor lonesome sailor boy cast upon the sand, up the old Embarcadero and down to port again, for we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. Say goodbye to dear old Auntie, bid farewell to San Rafael. Leave a penny for the mission that the seamen love so well. If we never make heaven, then we'll shake your hand in hell. But we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. There are two more fantasies, love's long history, than those who steal the heart of those who steal away to sea. For a heart that loves the oceans, forlorn eternally, and we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. Say goodbye to dear old Auntie, bid farewell to San Rafael. Leave a penny for the mission that the seamen love so well. If we never make heaven, we'll shake your hand in hell. But we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. So come on, boys, let's take a stroll down to Peru Street, and we'll climb aboard and claim a berth in the old Starfleet, with a star up in the heaven and a star beneath your feet. Leaving San Francisco in the morning. Say goodbye to dear old Auntie, bid farewell to San Rafael. Leave a penny for the mission that the seamen love so well. If we never make heaven, we'll shake your hand in hell. But we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. Gathered down at Colston's when the winter gales began, and warm our hearts with tales of the cold sea of Japan, with the sun hung below us and the ice in the van. Leaving San Francisco in the morning. Say goodbye to dear old Auntie, bid farewell to San Rafael. Leave a penny for the mission that the seamen love so well. If we never make heaven, we'll shake your hand in hell. But we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. Rousing up your fiddle bow, give us all a cheer, and we'll toss another down below for the one who isn't here. He wasn't where we left him, though he's everywhere we go. Leaving San Francisco in the morning. Say goodbye to dear old Auntie, bid farewell to San Rafael. Leave a penny for the mission that the seamen love so well. If we never make heaven, then we'll shake your hand in hell. But we're leaving San Francisco in the morning. Now we're leaving San Francisco in the morning.
That's not a song. Play a song, John. This is a song from the great inland sea in our country. I know you kind of hear lots of songs from the Maine Ocean, but not too many from the great inland sea, the Great Lakes areas. It's a true story. It takes place on the Great Lakes.
There is a young milkmaid so fine and so fair, she lives on the Wisconsin shore, and she gazes each day from the end of the pier, but the Jessie don't sail anymore. Her true love and James was a Michigan man. He worked on the ferry, they say, that came every evening to Manitowoc, sailing from Ludington Bay. And it's well that you mind that ring in your hands won't slow down the pace of your days. But don't it seem sometimes the worst stay behind and the best all go sailing away? Waiting each evening in the old ship's stead, gazing from the end of the pier, she welcomed her lover to bosom and bed and a cold glass of Stevens Point beer. And there's many the day in the old milking shed, her true loving Jimmy did say, why, there's nothing, my dear, like a little derriere to start off a fine fellow's day. What are you going to have in a dairy barn anyway but derriere, right? It's well that you mind that ring in your hands won't slow down the pace of your days. Don't it seem sometimes that the worst stay behind and the best all go sailing away? Like a tide that is turning, like a river that runs, like the sound of the winds of change. The boys in the office with their losses and profits say the Jessie is losing each day. So come with me down to Lansing, my love, I've a job in a foundry there, and we'll make our home on the bluffs up above the Red Cedar River so fair. Alas, Jimmy, no, it's here I must stay, though with you, my love, I will send. With a tear in her eye, she bids him goodbye, her dear ailing father to tend. And it's well that you mind that ring in your hands won't slow down the pace of your days. But don't it seem sometimes the worst stay behind and the best all go sailing away? Back in the 1850s, there was a U.S. schooner that was overtaken by a rogue wave down in the waters of Mexico. It was down there trying to stir up trouble with the Mexicans. The Mexicans didn't want it down there, and they sort of took a secret joy when it was toppled over by this freak bit of wind that blew through the island. Stayed hidden for about 100 years after that, but there grew a kind of a legendary story down along that coast of Mexico at Veracruz that somewhere there was a bell that could be heard by divers and fishermen out on those waters. They would hear this bell somewhere. It got to be known as St. Ignacio's bell, after a local priest, saint that had been there, living there years before. But a fella, ocean historian, took it upon himself to kind of collect these stories of this bell that was ringing that people could hear, and he triangulated an approximate location from what the witnesses were telling him. And they managed to find the wreck of the Somers. Somers was an infamous boat. Some people say it was a Judas boat, that it was plagued, that it was cursed, because 3 sailors had been hung from the yard arm. Back in the 1840s, it was kind of a big scandal in the United States, because one of the sailors who was hung, a midshipman, was like the son of a cabinet officer. But this captain aboard the ship took it upon himself to hang young Mr. Son of the cabinet officer. And that story is kind of included in this song. But about the bell, they actually took their diving gear and robotly operated little cameras that swim underwater, and they found the Somers. And its bell apparently was still on the pivot, somehow above the sand, and with the waves and the current, it actually would ring. Make south down to the westward on a coast we know too well. Sulphurback and silver dollar in the gates of Isabel. Our young midshipman Spencer most tender his regret. What men do not remember, the sea does not forget. She was all of Sims Miranda, and old Mackenzie's a broken man, giving up for false fame glory to the gales of Yucatan, where the sun burns low in the water by the Bay of Veracruz. You can hear the ghostly singing of the U.S. Commerce crew. Make south down to the westward on a coast we know too well. Sulphurback and silver dollar in the ports of Isabel. Our young midshipman Spencer most tender his regrets. What men do not remember, the sea does not forget. Phosphorescent, and the night was always, and the air upon a abaft deck, it was like to death's own kiss in a sudden shaft of moonlight. Oh, what the night had hid! Sailors dangled from the yard arm, and they danced an awful jig. Make south down to the westward on a coast we know too well. Sulphurback and silver dollar in the ports of Isabel. Our young midshipman Spencer most tender his regrets. What men do not remember, the sea does not forget.
Especially liked the story and the song about the apple tree. Thank you for the music, JW.
This event is produced by Maritime Folknet, a local nonprofit dedicated to preserving maritime culture and history by encouraging people to explore and participate in that culture and history. We do this primarily through the music that highlights our boats and the people who work them, especially in the Pacific Northwest. More about us you can find at www.maritimefolknet.org.
Basic membership costs only $15, and with that you get a free CD. Or you can do it the other way around and buy a CD for $15 and get a free membership. Either way,
we've got you coming both ways.
So, next I will introduce Helen Shilladay, our next performer. Helen is a traditional English singer, singing songs from ballads to sea shanties and a lot more. She is originally from Liverpool and moved to the Gulf Islands of British Columbia about 10 years ago. She performs at festivals and concerts and is one of my very favorite singers. So, I hope you enjoy Helen Shilladay.
Hi there, my name's Helen Shilladay. I'm a traditional English folk singer, and thank you for letting me sing for you at the festival today. I'm going to sing some traditional sea songs for you. The first one that I'm going to sing is a song that I learned from the singing of Maddie Pryor, and it's called Captain Colston. Come join with Captain Colston, that hero stout and bold, who made his way all on the sea and never was controlled. For 6 long years in summer gales, he ranged across the sea, all bound for New York City, that city fair to see. The captain and his lady, they came on deck each day to help us with our merriment, going to America. Our merriment being over, we were going to bed that night, when the captain he came up on deck for to see if all was right. He said, "Brave boys, do not go down, nor even think on sleep. For before too many hours, we'll all be stumbling in the deep. For a pirate ship is coming down, all from the western sea, for to rob us of our property, going to America." The pirate ship came up to us and boldly bid us stand. "Your gold and precious loadings this night I do demand. Your gold and precious loading resign to me this day, or not a soul you'll ever bring unto America." Well, the battle it commenced, brave boys, and the blood in streams did flow, while the passengers undaunted that pirate did overthrow. With the cries of women and children coming from the hull below, that brave captain and his passengers that pirate did overthrow. That pirate ship surrendered all at the break of day, and we brought it back as bounty all to America. So that was Captain Colston. The next song that I'm going to sing for you tonight is a song called Saucy Sailor, which is a song that I really enjoy, and it's a conversation between a sailor who's just come back from a voyage and a girl that he's a bit sweet on and wants to persuade to spend some time with him. Come, me young one, and all me fair one, come now unto me. How could you fancy a poor sailor lad that is just home from sea? Oh, but your ragged love and your dirty love and your clothes smell much of tar. So begone, you saucy sailor lad, so begone, you Jack Tar. Well, if I'm ragged love and I'm dirty love and me clothes smell much of tar, I have silver in me pocket, love, and gold in great store. And when she heard him say so, on her bended knee she fell. Oh, I will marry my dear Henry, for I love the sailor lad well. Oh, do you think that I am foolish? Do you think I am mad to be wed with a poor country girl when there's fortune to be had? Oh, I will cross the briny ocean, I will whistle and sing, and since you've refused my offer, love, some other girl will wear the ring. For I am frolicsome and I am easy, good-natured and free, and I don't give a single pin, me boys, what the world thinks of me. So come, me young ones, and all me fair ones, come now unto me. How could you fancy a poor sailor lad that is just home from sea? That was Saucy Sailor. And I'm just going to finish up my set today with a really fabulous shanty that I absolutely adore. I learned it from an a cappella harmony trio from the UK called Coop Boys and Simpson, but it is a traditional song. It's about the pay disparity between black sailors and white sailors getting paid a different amount of money for the same voyage. And it's called $5 a day. $5 a day is a white man's pay. Way, $5 a day is a white man's pay. My $1.50 a day. But $1.50 is a black man's pay. Way, yes, $1.50 is a black man's pay. My $1.50 a day. Oh, where shall we poor shellbacks roam? Where we've got no money and we can't get home. My $1.50 a day. I'll pack me bag and I'm on my way. We're bound away at the break of day. My dollar and a half a day. The old man hails from Barbados. He's got the name Old Hammer Toes. My dollar and a half a day. He gives us bread as hard as brass. His jerks as salt as Balaam's ass. My dollar and a half a day. Me poor old mother wrote to me. My darling boy, come home from sea. My dollar and a half a day. We'll haul 'em high and let 'em dry. We'll trice 'em up into the sky. My dollar and a half a day. Low lands me boys and up she goes. Get changed, me boys, to your shore going close. My dollar and a half a day. Thank you very much for letting me sing to you today. Take care.
All right, what a voice. And that one, I love that last song. I've got to learn it. We were singing, harmonizing along with it while it was going on, and we hope that you are singing along also. That's what the shanties are for.
So now it's time for an intermission where we'll play a short video. But while you are here on our YouTube channel, please subscribe. You can check out other Maritime Folknet videos, including this one, which will be posted shortly.
During these 5 minutes, we'll have photos and videos of Port Gamble with music by Chris Rowe and Alice Winship. These songs are available on Maritime Folknet CDs. We have 4 of them. First one was Tugboat Tales. The second, Tales from the Bar. That's the Columbia Bar. Making the Cut, and the songs of Alice Winship. More information about this festival and its performers can be found at portgamblemaritime.music.com.
Never hit 17 when you play against the dealer, for you know that the odds won't ride with you. And never leave your woman alone with your friends around to steal her years of gamble and lost like summer wages. And we'll keep rolling on till we get to Vancouver and the woman that I love who's living there. It's been 6 long months and more since I've seen her. She may be gambled and gone like summer wages. In all the beer parlors down along Main Street, the dreams of the seasons are all spilled out on the floor. All the big stands of timber just waiting for falling, The hustlers standing watchfully as they wait there by the door. So I'll work on the towboats in my slippery city shoes, which I swore I would never do again. Through the gray fog-bound straits, where the cedars stand watching, I'll be far off, gone like summer wages. In hall the beer parlors, down along Main Street, the dreams of the seasons are all spilled out on the floor. And the big stands of timber just waiting for falling, the hustlers standing watchfully as they wait there by the door. Never hit 17 when you play against the dealer, for you know that the odds won't ride with you. And never leave your woman alone with your friends around to steal her years of gambled and lost like summer wages. I have gambled, lost my summer wages.
Chunk of a stone axe blow echoes where the cedars grow, carving a canoe out of a log. Up the salt chuck, hear the splash, all together the paddles flash, singing with each stroke all through the fog. Hear the singing, the echoes ringing, they were pulling all together, you won't get far alone. Give us a song to move the work along. We'll all get there together. We'll bring the fish back home. Creaking wood and clacking gear, with rushing wakes the ships appear. Sailors heaving home through storm and gales, hauling lumber, wheat and coal, salting fish down in the hold, singing as they raise the swelling sails. Hear the singing, the echoes ringing, they were pulling all together, you won't get far alone. Give us a song to move the work along. They'll all get there together, we'll bring the fish back home. Diesel engines throb and roar, cities rise, high buildings soar. On the rivers, dams now rise up tall. Fields are green and turbines hum, but dams have cut the salmon run. Can we find a way to have it all? Hear the singing, the echoes ringing, they were pulling all together, you won't get far alone. Give us a song to move the work along. We'll all get there together, we'll bring the fish back home. We'll all get there together, we'll bring the fish back home. Well, I hope you enjoyed Intermission. Welcome back to the 2021 Port Gamble Maritime Music Festival. This event is brought to you by Maritime Folknet. Please check out our website to buy CDs, to buy our new pins, to become a member, and also to check out our calendar. We are also on Facebook.
And now we're going to celebrate this year's Robert Kotta Memorial Maritime Songwriting Contest. We started this one in 2009 to increase the stock of new quality maritime songs. The top 3 songs, chosen by a secret panel of experts, receive monetary awards. Each year, we choose a theme. This year, the theme is Islands. Here's a video of our late founder, Alice Winship, talking about Bob Kotta.
to tell you about Bob Kotta. He was a Northwest maritime musician and worked at various maritime nonprofit organizations and was instrumental to reviving maritime music here in the Northwest. And he unfortunately passed away at a relatively young age of a heart attack. But we want to remember him through this songwriting contest. And one thing Maritime Folknet would like to do is to make sure that we have more songs coming up about the Northwest and maritime music. We have a lot of talented songwriters here in the Northwest.
Yes, we do have a lot of amazing songwriters. So this year, in third place, we have Claire Anderson with her song, For Now We're Island Bound.
Hey everybody, I'm Claire. Thanks to Maritime Folknet for having us here today. This song, For Now I'm Island Bound, is a shanty, an allegory, a little bit of the spring-summer of 2020 feeling to it. And when I teach shanties, I like to get my students moving to feel how the cadence of these shanties and other work songs really help synchronize bodies in motion. And so I've asked my friends from uni to be here today to both sing a little harmony and also so that we can move together a little bit. And we're going to do a bit of cupography here with these lovely plastic cups that are just so much easier to maneuver than big heavy ropes. So, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And here is For Now I'm Island Bound. We set sail for the west, but storm pushed us back.
Found safe haven.
Felt like the heavens were on attack.
For now we're island bound.
Heard rumors a storm was coming our way.
Found safe haven.
But we set sail for it anyway.
For now we're island bound.
Captain said he didn't see no wrong.
Found safe haven.
We're sailing headfirst into fog.
For now we're island bound.
Wind shift daily, no hope of calm.
Found safe haven.
But Captain said our eyes are wrong.
For now we're island bound.
Graveyard of the Pacific lay ahead.
Found safe haven.
One false move will all wind up dead.
For now we're island bound.
He wanted past the Columbia bar.
Found safe haven.
But the crew feared that would be too far.
For now we're island bound.
Every moment spent is $1 lost.
Found safe haven.
But he only cared what the delay would cost.
For now we're island bound.
Many a ship has wrecked ashore.
Found safe haven.
But we fear there will be many more.
For now we're island bound.
No man's an island all alone.
Found safe haven.
And for his sins we'll all atone.
For now we're island bound.
Sea legs tired on the solid earth.
Found safe haven.
But that's what life and health are worth.
For now we're island bound.
Come together by staying apart.
Found safe haven.
But the solitude just breaks my heart.
For now we're island bound.
At night I dream of the open sea.
Found safe haven.
To watch this island melt away from me.
For now we're island bound.
Grew back by my side singing gratefully.
Found safe haven.
Cheers to those who stood so bravely.
For now we're island bound.
No man's an island all alone.
Found safe haven.
For now our future's been postponed. For
Now we're island bound.
All right. Well, that was fun. It was nice to have a new shanty. The second place winner, and she's contributed several songs over the years to our festival, is Jan Zerker, and her song is An Island Life for Me.
That's where I long to be. 50-foot crusader, bucks beneath my feet. A mere they steal, home for a crew of 6, netting salmon out of Bristol Bay, a life of mammoth rays. Oh, an island life for me, whether on the land or sea, surrounded by the briny deep. That's where I long to be. Hours dancing round frozen seas, at midnight we will low. A bite to eat, 3 hours sleep, 2 ulcers worth of joe. Back-breaking toil to pile the web, set nets, haul in the catch. Then joyful smiles, high fives abound as we batten down the hatch. Oh, an island life for me, whether on the land or sea, surrounded by the briny deep. That's where I long to be. When a Kotta fills the hold, we're finally homeward bound. For me, that's a tiny island nestled in Puget Sound. Cozy cabin of cedar wood, love and family of 4. Peaceful island paradise, my haven on the shore. Oh, an island life for me, whether on the land or sea, surrounded by the briny deep. That's where I long to be, surrounded by the briny deep. That's where I long to be.
Thank you for the fun song, Jan. That was great. And now I will introduce our first place winner. Drum roll, please. This year, first place goes to Bob Morgan for Lopez Lullaby.
You pull away from the dock, you start out smooth and slow. You leave the lacy wash under the pier, you start out smooth and slow. But when you get moving, how you shake, you shimmy, you rattle, you roll. I'm on a ferry and I'm smiling because it's island bound. I'm on a ferry and I'm smiling because I'm island bound. I hope to be smiling when this ferry brings me back to town. Buildings downtown, they're big, but they're shrinking small. Yeah, downtown thinks it's so damn big, but it's shrinking small. I'll be just as happy when I can't see that downtown at all. Stand on the front of your deck until I'm cold. I got the wind and the moon and ice until I'm cold. When you're out on the front of a ferry, you're never old. We're going up to Mark and Ruthie's gonna feed some sheep. Those pellets in that trough and get out of the way and feed those sheep. And when it gets country dark and quiet, we're gonna sleep, sleep, sleep. Make us all something good to eat. Get some greens out of the garden, make us all something good to eat. And when Lynn pulls out her fiddle, we all put on our happy feet. Lopez clouds, they hang low in the wintertime. Yeah, Lopez clouds, they hang dark and low in the wintertime. But the locals got it in their blood and they mostly don't mind. Looking down at your bow as you lap the mile. I watch you cut the water as you lap the mile. You know, hanging off the front of a ferry's a good way to spend your while. So when I die, please don't bury me. I say when I die, please don't bury me. Just throw my ash off the back of that old Eli.
That was beautiful, and thanks again, and congratulations to Claire, Jan, and Bob. For more information about this contest, please check out the website portgamblmaritimemusic.com. You can find past winners and also find out how to enter for next year, 2022.
The Johnson Girls is an all-woman a cappella ensemble performing traditional and contemporary music with an emphasis on songs of the sea and shore. So glad that somebody thought of using that term, because I've been singing the shanty Johnson Gals for decades. Wonderful idea. With their rousing work songs, haunting ballads and laments, and hair-raising harmonies, the Johnson Gals have performed at major festivals, clubs, coffee houses, and more across the United States, Canada, the British Isles, and Europe. So let's give them a view.
Hello, Port Gamble. We are the Johnson Girls, and we're hoping you'll sing along with us as we give you these little ditties. We're going to try and keep the talking short and the singing long. So join in with us on these. Did you ever see a wild goose sailing on the ocean? Renzo, Renzo, way, hey, just like them pretty girls when they gets the notion. Renzo, Renzo, way, hey. The other morning I was walking by the river. Renzo, Renzo, way, hey. I saw a young girl walking with her topsails all a-quiver. Renzo, Renzo, way, hey. I said, pretty fair maid, and how are you this morning? Renzo, Renzo, way, hey. She said, none the better for the seeing of you.
That's
You
right.
Renzo, Renzo, way, hey.
Oh, the bully boats are coming, don't you hear the paddles rolling?
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
The bully boats are coming down the river, she's a-bowling.
Renzo, Renzo, ray.
Oh, the bully boats are coming down the Mississippi floating.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
The bully boats are coming and the gals are all a-waiting.
Renzo, Renzo, ray.
As I walked out one morning for to hear the steamboats rolling.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
I met a pretty maiden and with basket she was laden.
Renzo, Renzo, ray.
I'm bound away to leave you, but I never shall deceive you.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
I'm bound away to leave you, my half pay I'm going to leave you.
Renzo, Renzo, ray.
And it's when I come to meet you, it's with kisses I will greet you.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
It's when I come to meet you, it's with kisses I will greet you.
Renzo, Renzo, ray.
Oh, the grooving Renzo,
Renzo boys, Renzo.
oh, the grooving Renzo,
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
Renzo is no sailor,
Renzo boys,
he
Renzo.
was a Brooklyn tailor.
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
Renzo was no sailor,
Renzo boys, Renzo.
whipped him aboard of a whaler.
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
Renzo was no beauty,
Renzo boys,
he
Renzo.
would not do his duty.
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
They gave him lashes 30,
Renzo boys, Renzo.
because he was so dirty.
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
Captain's daughter Susie,
Renzo boys, Renzo.
begged her dad for mercy.
Renzo me boys,
She
Renzo.
gave him wine and water,
Renzo boys, Renzo.
a bit more than she ought to.
Renzo me boys, Renzo.
We're homeward bound from China on board of a limey liner.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
We're bound from Yokohama with a load of grand pianos to me
Hilo me Renzo, ray.
We're bound for old Gibraltar with a load of bricks and mortar.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
We're bound for Santiago with a load of German lager to me
Hilo me Renzo, ray.
We're bound for Valparaiso with a load of rusty razors.
Renzo, Renzo, hooray, hooray.
We're bound bound for Buenos Aires with a load of green canaries. To me high-low, me Ranzo Ray. We'll plow the ocean over like a proper deep-sea rover. Ranzo, Ranzo, hooray, hooray. We'll tie her up in London and we'll all go on the Ranzan. To me high-low, me Ranzo Ray.
Did you ever see a wild goose sailing on the ocean? Ranzo, Ranzo, way. It's just like them Johnson girls when they get the notion. Ranzo, Ranzo, way.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're going to continue now with, I believe it's a double pull halyard, Run Let the Bull Giant Run. One of these shanties that could have been used for a halyard, could have been used for a capstan, and it's got a really simple chorus, so please join in. Well, run from night till morning, no.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, oh, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, run from here to dinner time, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, run from Dover to Calais, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, run from Liverpool to Frisco, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, a run down south around the Horn, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, we sailed all day to Mobile Bay, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
Well, it's pump me bullies and away we'll go, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
The captain'll make her old nose bleed, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
So we'll rock and roll her over, oh.
Run, let the bull giant run. Way up, whoa, run, let the bull giant run.
All right. Hope
Well,
you
I
sang along.
hope you were singing on that one. Where are we going, Bon?
I think we're going down to the Caribbean.
Feels like the Caribbean out
Yes,
here
it
where we
does.
are today.
Well, we know that where you are, it's as hot or hotter on this
Yes.
particular day, which is June 30th, right? 29th,
Yeah.
whatever.
It
And
is.
I know out west it's brutal.
It's about 90 degrees here in Connecticut. In the shade.
Anyway, in the
It's
shade.
roasty, toasty, warm.
But we know that you're struggling with, or were struggling with pretty high temperatures. But anyway, we are going down to the Caribbean. This is a song that was collected in 1938. It's about sponge fishermen. And it was a song that was originally a religious anthem, but then it got transposed into a work song that was used by sponge fishermen in the Caribbean. Sadly, in 1938, the same big storm that wiped out half of the trees in this state where we're standing now also affected the sponge fishery down in the Caribbean. But the best part of it is that still the song exists. And it is called Mary.
Mary.
Come join the religion. No interruption.
Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Mary was poor, so she go from the door. Oh, Mary, oh, away from the door till she reached back home. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. When I was a young man in my prime, oh, Mary, oh, devil in hell couldn't beat my time. No, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, join the religion. Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Mary, Mary, join the religion. Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Mary, Mary, join the religion. Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Mary, won't you come down and join our religion? Oh, Mary, oh, Mary, won't you help us get food and water? Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Mary, Mary, come join the religion. Mary, come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal. Oh, then Mary, come join the religion. Mary, come join the religion. Come join the religion. Oh, Mary, young gal.
And the birds are chirping, and the engines are going. At least you know it's real. So I think we're staying in the Caribbean, actually.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. So many of the songs that we sing are typically sung by men. This one's a little different. It was sung by women down in the Caribbean as they were loading or offloading cargo, sometimes ballast from the ships, and they'd walk up and down the gangway singing this little ditty. Now, they would often have baskets on their heads carrying sugar or salt. Yeah, that'll work.
I could go get a basket.
And not holding on to them. There are some wonderful pictures of this. But we'll just sing you the song, and lots of parts for you to sing along, so please don't refrain. Brandy good for sailormen, brandy early in the morning, brandy early in the morning, give us a drop of brandy, brandy good for sailormen, brandy harbor good for sailormen, harbor early in the morning, harbor early in the morning, Guinness us a drop of brandy. Harbor good for sailormen, harbor oh. Payday good for sailormen, payday oh. Early in the morning, payday oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of brandy. Payday good for sailormen, payday oh. Shore leave good for sailormen, shore leave oh. Early in the morning, shore leave oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of brandy. Shore leave good for sailormen, shore leave oh. Tavern good for sailormen, tavern oh. Early in the morning, tavern oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of brandy. Tavern good for sailormen, tavern oh. Whiskey good for sailormen, whiskey oh. Early in the morning, whiskey oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of whiskey. Whiskey good for sailormen, whiskey oh. Woman good for sailormen, woman oh. Early in the morning, woman oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of brandy. Woman good for sailormen, woman oh. Brandy good for sailormen, brandy oh. Early in the morning, brandy oh. Early in the morning, Guinness a drop of brandy. Brandy good for sailormen, brandy oh.
I hope we've whetted your taste buds with that one.
Whether it be brandy or whiskey.
Or water.
Or water.
And we hope you were singing along there.
Lemonade on a daily
We're not really watching, but we're watching. Oh, so, Miss Allie,
We
You're going to
are
France?
going to France. Woohoo!
Mais oui, ooh la la.
This is a rowing song from Brittany. It is also a dance, if you are so inclined to dance at some point.
Too hot here.
Pinkies.
And
dance.
it's also a paddling song in Quebec. Porte vemma du sommeil,
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la.
Porte vemma du sommeil,
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la. Pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer.
Oh, millimère, je naviguais.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la.
Oh, millimère, je naviguais.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la. Pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer.
De mer nord au mer sud.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la.
De mer nord au mer sud.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la. Pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer.
Dans les enfants m'espérer.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la.
Dans les enfants m'espérer.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la. Pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer.
En couple, je me suis couché.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la.
En couple, je me suis couché.
Oh, mes buey, ooh la la. Pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. Pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, jolie baleinier. pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Tout est ensemble à pleurer, oh mes buenos, la la. Tout est ensemble à pleurer, oh mes buenos, la la. Pique la baleine, joli baleinier, pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, joli baleinier, pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Oh, pique la baleine, joli baleinier, pique la baleine, je veux naviguer. Merci, merci.
Usually when we sing that, there are many people dancing in the audience. In Brittany, there were about 10,000 people dancing in the audience. Just a lot
Wonderful
of fun.
place to go.
Yes.
We've had many voyages, and we hope that one of our voyages will take us out to Port Gamble one of these days.
In person. Woohoo!
We'd love to see you all.
So what do you think? We are going to do one more for you. And yeah, what's
Deirdre?
there to say, Deirdre?
Well, this, I think, traditionally was a children's song. And as these shanties go, it fell into different hands, and fishermen's hands, in fact, and got changed a bit. So maybe the fishermen were out for the day, and they remembered the song from their childhood. We're not really sure, but they kind of spiced up the verses a bit, and we've kind of met them halfway.
We did get the originals, but we're clearly
yeah.
not singing them today.
Not
So-
today, no.
Our version is
Same.
Mama Liza Jane, but there's all sorts of other versions, Eliza Jane and Poor Eliza, and all sorts of.
And it's the preamble to Bo Diddley.
Ah.
Right.
Ah, Mama Liza Jane. Ah, Mama Liza Jane.
Well, I got a gal in Baltimore,
Mama Liza Jane.
She is waiting on that shore,
Mama Liza Jane. But I got a gal in New York City, Mama Liza Jane. She is tall and real pretty, Mama Liza Jane. But I got a gal in South Carolina, Mama Liza Jane. Lips like honey and looks so fine, Mama Liza Jane.
Oh, I got a gal in New Orleans,
Mama Liza Jane.
She's as hard as a Creole queen,
Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane.
Them Johnson girls, they look so fine,
Mama Liza Jane.
They ain't got Jesus on
No,
their
sir,
mind.
Mama Liza Jane. They've got some great big hips, Mama Liza Jane. We're built just like them battleships, Mama Liza Jane. They go walking down the street, Mama Liza Jane. All the little birdies go tweet, 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 hear 'em, Mama Liza Jane.
Oh, Johnson girls, they call you honey,
Mama Liza Jane.
all they want's all your
Oh, get
money,
it. Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane.
Oh, Mama Liza, have you heard?
Mama Liza Jane. I'm gonna buy you a mockingbird, Mama Liza Jane. If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama Liza Jane.
I'm gonna buy you a diamond ring,
Mama Liza Jane.
Well, if that diamond ring don't shine,
Mama Liza Jane. I'm gonna take it to the 5 and dime, Mama Liza Jane. 5 and dime won't take it back, Mama Liza Jane.
I'm gonna throw across the railroad track,
Mama Liza Jane.
well, big old train coming all real fast,
Mama Liza Jane. Smash that diamond, must have been glass, Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane.
I said now,
Oh, Mama Liza Jane. Oh, Mama Liza Jane. Thank you so much, Port Gamble. Yeah.
Thank you very much, the
Thank you.
Johnson girls.
Woohoo!
Wow, that was great.
Oh, goodness. Man, invigorating, I must say. Sure glad they joined us. So that was the Johnson girls. It's so easy to say Johnson gals. And now Lynn is going to announce our final guest.
Yeah, so I have the privilege to introduce the legendary Gordon Bach. Gordon grew around in and worked in the boatyards of Camden, Maine, where he learned songs and legends, tunes, and he started to write his own. He has made over 30 recordings. He has toured extensively around the world, and he has also received an honorary Doctorate of Science from the Maine Maritime Academy. We're so lucky and honored to have him as part of our festival this year. So here is Gordon Bach.
Well, we got a rainy day here. Good day for singing. Here's a song about a Gloucester fisherman. She'd been fishing in the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and she was headed back to Gloucester with a full load of fish. And they anchored in Cape Breton. Well, they anchored in the Canso Strait between Cape Breton and Nova Scotia, and to pick up provisions. And the captain got ashore, and he got drunk, and that was the start of the story. I think it was a fairly common song. I think it's a beautifully written thing. Called Canso Strait, or the Drunken Captain. In Canso Strait our vessel lay, we just returned from out the bay. The schooner built both stout and strong, and the Gloucester she did belong. We were homeward bound and ready for sea, when our drunken captain went on a spree. He come on board and to us did say, get your anchors, boys, and fill away. We got our anchors at his command, and with all sails set we left the land. We left old Sand Point on our lee, and headed her out into a steep-head sea. Well, the night come on, the dark clouds lower, the winds did howl and the seas did roar. An angry squall from the angry sky, it knocked her down about half-mast high. Her jib sheets parted, which eased her some. She come head to wind and she rose again. We got our jibs in and the new sheet bent, and straightway aft to our captain went. We kindly asked him to shorten sail, or we'd be lost in the heavy gale. He cursed and swore that if the wind would blow, he'd show us how his old boat could go. So high the wind, so hard the wave, we never thought our lives we'd save. But we reefed her down to her own success. She's like a bird seeking for her nest. We're headed up off the Cape Shore now. She knocks the white foam off her bow. Oh, never again will I ever sail the drunken captain and a heavy gale. Great song. Years back, when Ruth Moore was alive, she handed me a poem one day and said, this could use a tune. And the poem was called Little River. And it was about a fella, probably a lobsterman, from Kotta. And he's hearing the whistle buoy off Little River there, off the island at the mouth of Cutler Harbor. But he realizes that he's heard it all his life, but now he's hearing it from underwater. He's just realizing that he's drowning. So I put a tune to it. Little river, lighted whistle, cry no more. Sleepy sound from the breakers calling me back to shore. Whistle soft to the silver river, whistle it loud to the coming sea, whistle it low to the moon in the morning. Not to me, never to me. For I'm swinging high in another country, swinging low, rolling a daisy, and the dolphins follow me where I go. Whistle it loud to the flood tide making, whistle it soft to the wailing sun, whistle it wild to my girl's heart breaking. She'll remember she was the one. Spring comes warm over Little River, storm comes black. I was headed home when the Indian giver took me back. Whistle it high to the graybeard breakers, where the secret over the great shoals ran. Whistle the world that was in my pocket when I had pockets, when I was a man. Little river, lighted whistle, cry no more. Sleepy sound from the breakers calling me back to shore. Whistle it soft to the silver river, Whistle it loud to this drumming sea. Whistle it low to the moon in the morning. Not to me, never to me. This is mildly, well, no, it's a, what do you call it? Autobiographical song, one might say. Swift history of something I learned out on the water. It's called All My Sailors. Sea. I didn't know where that boat was going. All I want was away from here, and all I knew was keep on rowing. The first boat I put out to sea, I wouldn't have none to sail with me, none to row and none to tow, and none to stow my cargo down. I come a-staving through the storm, and all my laden lights were gone. There was 3 old sailors by my helm, told me I don't sail alone. One named Peter, one named Saul, one don't claim no name at all. One to sing and one to haul, and one to heave me when I fall. And when I stumble on the reef, I had 3 good sailors take my grief. One to bail and one to sail, and one to hold me when I wail. So fog and foul or fair and free, it's all the flaming same to me. 'Cause all the good hands that ever sailed are rolling down my weather rail. And when I turn for making land, I got 3 good sailors to my hand. One to stay and one to pray, and one to lay this anchor down. And if I hoist my sail again, come in sun or go in rain, all the sailors in the sea will hand and haul and steer with me. One to row and one to tow, and one to ease me when I go. One to row, one to tow, and one to heave me when I go. Now, this song happened to somebody I know. It was told to me by an old shipmate, and she only told me because she knew I knew one of the people involved. She didn't know at the time that I knew both of the people involved. But it was such a sad story. But I thought, oh, geez, it started to haunt me, and I thought, how am I going to make sure I don't make the same mistake? So I made it into a song, but I changed the place, I changed the boat, I changed what the guy did. And when I sang it back to her, without identifying it, all she said was, "Oh, what a sad story." So apparently I did that right. The first time I saw Ellen Moore, it was in the early spring. Under the loom of the coming storm, I saw her topsail gleam. Her lines were long and lovely, she stood in from the bay, and I stood on the dragger's deck and gave my heart away. She rounded up and ran her chain, her gear was stowed and furled. I saw but two upon her deck, an old man and a girl. And as I rode past, they hailed me, and we passed the time of day. And we spoke of the wind and the holding ground, and how their vessel lay. The next day, blowing cold and gray, they hailed me once again. I went on board to drink their tea and talk and watch the rain. The schooner old and graceful and built for any weather, and they were kind and gentle folks, the young girl and her father. I walked the island with the girl, I watched it take her heart. This land is kind in the summertime, those summer months are short. The sudden hills, the quiet coves, the meadows in the rain, the gentle grace of fir and spruce when snow and wind are gone. Her hair was brown, her hands were brown, her face was brown and wise. I watched her place her quiet feet and felt her quiet eyes. And I had been a lonely man with neither laugh nor song, and each year since my Janie died was 12 Novembers long. Back on board that evening in the schooner's warm saloon, we spoke of boats and harbors and the islands we had known. They said they'd searched for years to find a place to spend their days, and here they'd found their paradise, the island and its ways. The wind was in the mastheads, and the seas were hissing high, and the wine and song that night will keep me till I die. And as I stepped o'er the schooner's rail, she took me by the hand, and I told her I would bless the tide that brought her here again. But all the months that followed were a weary weight to bear, for I knew I'd been above myself when the wine was flowing fair. To think she'd ever want a man who made a pauper's wage, much less a simple fisherman, and half again her age. The next time I saw Ellen Moore, it was autumn cold and wet. She come swinging up the outer bay with just her lower set. But I couldn't bear their kindness, nor could I forget my shame, and I hoped the wine had been so kind they'd not recall my name. So I swung outside the harbor mouth and drove on down the Sound. Hoped they'd never know my boat from the other boats around. But as I passed by, I saw the girl come out on deck to stand, and across the moving water, she lifted up her hand. The next time I saw her, Ellen Moore, it was in the early May, and 4 long years had hauled their tides since she had passed this way. I saw the old man on her deck, he sailed her all alone, as past the island shoulder his threadbare mainsail swung. He rounded up and ran his chain, his movements slow and spare, and late that day I rowed across another meal to share. The boat was old, the man was old, the years had had their way. He asked me if I liked my life, and I had naught to say. I asked him of his daughter, but he only shook his head. She wed a corporation man, she chose her life, he said. She might have had a simple man, her simple love to share. She saw you go out by the ledge, that broke her heart for fair. The last time I saw her, Ellen Moore, she was standing out to sea, all plain sail on a northeast wind, her main sheet running free. The old man stood beside her wheel, to me he raised his hand, and I stood on the dragger's deck and watched the day go down. Schooner Ellen Moore. Here's a version of Stormy Weather, and it was collected by Captain Bob Roberts, who sailed at one of the last working Thames barges, big old sprit-rigged sailing barges that worked cargo all up and down the east coast of England and farther. And he collected, these particular verses were about that trade, about the barging trade. And he arranged them into a kind of a travel log. It starts just south of London, goes down the Thames, and around the Essex coast, and ends up in Greater Yarmouth. And it, you'll notice it starts in one pub, ends in another, which is proper. Surrey dock one day when the mate knew it was time to get underway. He's homeward bound, but he's out of luck, 'cause the skipper's half drunk in the Dog and Duck. Stormy weather, when the wind blows, the barge will go. Well, the skipper comes aboard with a girl on his arm. He's gonna give up barging and take on a farm. The mate ran forward and the cook fell in the dock, and the skipper's caught his knackers in the main sheet block. Stormy weather, When the wind blows, the barge will go. Well, the mate's at the wheel, but he's jibed her twice, 'cause the skipper's got his knackers in a bowl of ice. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. Well, at last we're off down the Limehouse Reach, when she knocked her board on the Greenwich beach. Barge went ashore and scared our girl, and she says, "Chuck this, I'm off ashore." Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. Well, we shoved her off and away we did go, but the skipper's got a bottle of beer below. She fills away with a roar and a crack, but there ain't no bargeman up on her deck. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. Up comes a mermaid covered in mud, and the skipper says, "I think we're off the Whitaker Spit." Up comes another one covered in slime, and we took her down the forecastle and we had a good time. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. At the top of the tide, the barge did fleet, but the mate saw a ghost on the topsail sheet. Away we didn't go, and the ghost did steer, and the cook got in the dregs of the old man's beer. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. Well, we laid close hauled off Port off Orford Ness, when the wind packed round to the south-southwest. We reached our port all safe and sound, and tied her up in Yarmouth town. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. So after all our fears and alarms, we all ended up in the Druid's arms. Stormy weather, stormy weather. When the wind blows, the barge will go. So there you go. Stay well. Fair winds.
All right. The great Gordon Bach. And that voice is still something I can remember from the last time he played in Seattle. What a storyteller, what a singer, what a legend. We're going to close with a couple of shanties from our local crew.
And first, we will have Dan Roberts leading Haul on the Anchor Chain by J.W. Sparrow.
Dedicated to my favorite form of public transportation, the Washington State ferries. Well, the captain comes from Kansas. He's a mighty sailing man. For a guy who's lost his glasses, he does the very best he can. And it's haul on the anchor chain, pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. Oh, the first mate is quite jolly, from the funnels right on down. He knows every little cubby hole where a bottle can be found. And it's haul on the anchor chain, pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. By the mighty diesel engine, the engineer is vigilant. If the cabin boy remembers to go down and wake him up, and it's haul on the anchor chain, pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. Oh, the pilot is kept busy, ironing shirts and mending socks, but I'll be darned if he can keep her off the shoals or the rocks. And it's haul on the anchor chain, pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. Oh, the galley is quite spacious. It's a delight to the eye, and the food is so delicious. And it's haul on the anchor chain and pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. By the pier at Point Defiance, by the blue commencement bay, the breezes waft across the waters to wish you gaily on your way. And it's haul on the anchor chain and pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. So remember, weary travelers, if you're looking for some fun, the finest to be found's on the ferries from the state of Washington. And it's haul on the anchor chain and pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. And it's haul on the anchor chain and pull on the oar, and we'll raise a glass together when we reach the other shore. All right. Well, that was fun. It was fun to record. It was fun to listen to. Would like to remind you that this is being brought to you by Maritime Folknet, and we do have various and sundry expenses associated with this festival, and we would urge you and ask you to go to maritimefolknet.org, where you will find a button that says Donate. And please do donate whatever amount of money makes sense to you. Remember, it is never too late to donate. And now we will have Lynn Applegate leading Shallow Brown.
Fare thee well, me Juliana, shallow, shallow brown. Yes, fare thee well, me Juliana, shallow, shallow brown. Well, it's shallow in the morning, shallow, shallow brown, just as the day is dawning. Shallow, shallow brown. Well, you are my only treasure. Shallow, shallow brown. And I love you still full measure. Shallow, shallow brown. In the cradle lies me baby. Shallow, shallow brown. And I don't want no other lady. Shallow, shallow brown. Well, me packet leaves tomorrow.
All right. We miss being in Port Gamble for this, and we look forward to being back on that sunny lawn overlooking Gamble Bay next year for an in-person festival. We have one more song from J.W. Sparrow as we close this out, but first, these final comments.
First of all, we would like to thank all of our performers today for such a great festival. Please support these performers and other performers in your community.
And please support Maritime Folknet by becoming a member, buying a CD, donating, or simply by liking us on Facebook or subscribing to us on YouTube.
If you're interested in finding out where to go sing shanties, or if you would like to find out more information about local shanty singers to the Pacific Northwest, drop us a line.
And thank you to the Maritime Folknet board members, Helen Gilbert, David Kessler, Ginny Agnew, Lynn Applegate, and yours truly.
We'd also like to thank Pilgrim Media Services and Chris Glanister, who is the founder of the Port Gamble Music Festival, Maritime Music Festival, and also a special thank you to David Kessler, who produced this show.
And thank you to the Propeller Club Seattle and the town of Port Gamble.
Maritime Folknet's website is www.maritimefolknet.org.
Ta-da! All right. Be safe. Be healthy. I just lost my porpoise. I know. Oh, there he is. Okay. Sorry, we have a little prop business to do here. Please be safe and healthy and have a great summer. Now here's J.W. Sparrow with the Underwater Boogie.
Well, the octopus sat at a double bass set with his arms all akimbo. And the key horse thought a scat sang chorus, and the eel did a shocking limbo. Tessie the tune passed out in a swoon, and the seaweed swayed in time to the tune at the Underwater Boogie that night. Now little Jack Mackle did the double dutch with an albacore. Furthermore, the sucker did a number with a sea cucumber, and they all cried out for more. Over in the corner was Willie the whale, keeping things cool with the wave of his tail at the Underwater Boogie that night. Now this is kind of a folk song, and like all good folk songs, it's got a sing-along portion, and this is your part. It goes like this.